Hey there, Mick Hawes, Builder's Business Black Belt. This month has been themed all around profit. This is the final video this month where we'll be talking about profit, and we'll be choosing a new theme, hopefully valuable to you, for next month, the month of May. This video, I just want to unpack what affects profit. I just find, having so many conversations with builders, that their profit strategy is still very much a hope strategy. I think I've put enough gross profit into the pricing to cover everything, and there'll be profit left over. And this whole profit left over thing, I'd love you to go and read Mike Michalowicz's Profit First book, because one of the first things he talks about in the book is what most people think profit is: income or revenue minus expenses equals profit. That's how most people think. What he's suggesting, it is income or revenue minus profit equals expenses. And you might go, well, I don't even understand it, it's a play on words or what have you. But what he's basically saying is decide on taking the profit first, putting it away and protecting it, and then you have to run your business with what is left. And it just causes you to be more frugal, more detailed, thinking about it more. And it definitely changes how you perceive profit. So not going to go into too much detail about that. You're just better off reading the book. It is a fantastic, life-changing concept. So what are the things that affect profit? The first one, obviously, is pricing. If you don't price correctly, there isn't any profit. And I've shared that scenario about some builders I've been working with over the last little while, so I'm not going to repeat that. You can go watch previous videos, but it is profound how seemingly intelligent people just don't understand how to price effectively, and they're again running on this hope strategy, and you need to know exactly what's going on. So it's important to have tools that will help you really be clear and confident on your pricing. And just a quick reminder, because I think I might have mentioned it in the first video and I haven't mentioned it since, but I did create a thing called a man-hour calculator. Don't even know whether that's politically incorrect these days, but I don't care. I'm calling it the man-hour calculator. What it does is it ensures, when you use this little calculator, it's a very easy, simple little spreadsheet, it guarantees, if you use it properly, that all of your expenses are covered for, and you know exactly how much profit you're going to get dollar figure wise and what the project's going to cost you. And so it's a man-hour, it's two pieces to this little tool. A man-hour calculator, so it gives you this hourly rate. So if you know how many hours a project's going to take, it's 100 or 1,000 hours, whatever it might be, man hours, you know what to charge per hour, and that will cover all of your fixed costs and off-site costs, people in the office, your wage if you're not on site, things like that. That's really important to know to price correctly. Then the second part of it is a project price checker, where after you've worked out your project using your standard software that you use now, you can just use this little spreadsheet. It's real quick, and you just punch in about half a dozen numbers from your price, and it'll go bang, 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 and it'll be somewhere around the price that you've come up with, or it won't be. And in a number of cases when I've done this with builders, it has been quite surprising, and it just helps you to identify, hang on, there might be something I've missed here, and it gets you to go back and check. But the main thing is it just gives you a bit more certainty and confidence. Another thing that affects profit is efficient invoicing and collection. I don't know how many times in the past I've worked with, not necessarily just a builder, like this has happened for all sorts of small businesses, even before we started specialising with builders, working with someone, what's the problem? How can I help you? Well, we're just constantly in this cash flow issue, like we're just under cash flow pressure all the time. Unpack their systems, and all that's happening is they're doing the work and they're not invoicing. They're not asking for the money. It's like, oh, I think I can see the problem. So efficient invoicing and collection. So it's all well and good to invoice, but the collection piece is really important. And I do believe in prevention is better than the cure. So I would encourage you to automate, or at least create procedures for a heap of reminders that an invoice is on its way for a progress payment, or however your business works, and get into a rhythm. So if there are multiple stages and multiple progress payments, there's a rhythm. They get comfortable with the reminders and they get ready. Like, it's so important to have this communication. It's coming up, it's coming out. Are you ready? It's coming out next day. Just in case you missed it, here it is. You know, lots of reminders, and so you don't have to chase the money. You'll be chasing less if you get into a prevention strategy. I personally, and I know that plenty of other people dislike this as well. In fact, I hate it. Is I'll get something done by a trades business, not necessarily in the building industry, but it could be, and they're just so slow in invoicing. It could be months down the track and you get this bill and you've forgotten about it by then and you haven't budgeted for it and that sort of stuff. Be efficient with it. As soon as you've done the work, make sure that invoice is there if that's how you run it. You know, it's a bit different with progress payments, but, you know, if you're doing a one-off job, bang, make sure the invoice is there post-haste. Most people love that. Pisses them off when it's late. Production efficiency affects profit. What does that mean? It means you need to have absolute clarity on what is expected as far as progress when you're building a project. So that requires very detailed planning. By this time, by this day, on this week, we should be up to here. By this day, Gantt charts, all of that sort of stuff. Have detailed expectations. Communicate those expectations to the team very regularly. I'll talk about that in a minute. But then you've got to have detailed measuring to make sure you're on track, behind, in front, what have you. Again, this is a preventative approach. If you apply this, you can fix things way before a progress payment, or definitely way before the end of a project, when it's too late to do anything about it, when your profit's been eaten up by inefficiencies and poor communications and just being sucky at planning. We need to get much, much better at that. I encourage you to have a daily direction, we call them daily direction meetings. Have them every day with the team, about 7 minutes, stand up. This is what we're working on today. There is a choreography for it, but from the point of view of this video, having a communication every single day about what the expectations are today and what needs to happen and where we need to get to really does make a project more efficient. That meeting needs to be 100% positive, like you're just really congratulating people for the effort yesterday and thanking them and all that sort of stuff, but also asking them, here is the expectation for today. Can anyone identify any reason as to why we might not be able to get there? And there might be something that you don't realise or don't understand, and they'll contribute that, and you can rejig the expectation or fix the problem. And there's always this constant discussion and focus on productivity and efficiency and effectiveness and all of that sort of stuff. But getting the team involved in that is really powerful. And I remember years ago, again, before we were black belt and working with lots of other types of small businesses, there was a motor mechanic business who implemented this concept of the daily direction meeting, but they took it one or actually 4 steps further than just this one meeting. In their mind, they treated it like a footy match. So they would have a pre-game talk. That was the daily direction meeting at the start of the day. And I know this is a little more difficult with a building site because the motor mechanics are all in one workshop, but you can do it with a little bit of planning if you wanted to. But they would have a meeting before they started. They would have a quarter time meeting, which was like morning tea, just a real quick catch up. How are we doing? Are we on track to get to where we wanted to at the end of the day? Lunchtime, half time. They would have another catch-up. How you doing? Oh, well done. That's fantastic. Spreading the love, giving people pats on the back and congratulations and appreciation and that sort of stuff. It's very powerful. They would have a quick afternoon meeting, so that's 3/4 time. And they'd have a very short debrief at the end of the day. What can we learn from it? And any of that stuff goes into the pre-game meeting the next day. Now, they would put something like 20 minutes a day into all of those, maybe 25 minutes a day into all of those meetings. But the increase in product, the decrease in mistakes and things forgotten and things not considered, it just reduced considerably. And so the productivity and the profitability increased significantly just by investing that very well run and planned 25-minute meetings over the whole day, like a footy match. The last thing that I want to suggest to you that makes a difference to profit, that affects profit, is just constant system improvement. Whenever there's a problem, stop and unpack it and get the team involved and go, how can we systemise this so this doesn't happen again? I'm sure you can think of a gazillion things that keep happening on your sites, and you kind of, bloody hell, just fix it again. What if we stopped and in one of our meetings we said, what are some way out crazy ideas that we could put out there to prevent that from happening again? And take that approach, constantly creating, refining, implementing systems to eliminate the constant frustrations, boredom, problems that come up on a site. It's the law of never-ending improvement, and understand this, that you're either growing or you're dying. You're improving or you're getting worse. There is no status quo. There is no middle ground. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you are getting worse. It's a law of life. You're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. So I hope that got you thinking. As I mentioned at the start, if you want to get a hold of that man-hour calculator and the project price checker, it's all one tool. Let me know, reach out to me. More than happy to hook you up with it. And if you want to jump on a quick phone call or a Zoom or whatever for me to walk you through how using it, more than happy to do that as well. That's it for these videos for this month on profit. I'll be back with you next month with a new theme and some new ideas, hopefully that will help improve your building business. Bye for now.